Hello friends, this is a follow-up video to the HARP video and the manure video. Alright, so we're going to talk about what to do when you get triggered. So let's give a scenario. Say Susie first learned how to play freeze tag with some neighborhood friends, including her older brother who is much bigger than her. And it was her first time playing freeze tag, and her older brother was very was moving really fast, and when he tapped her for freeze tag, he knocked her to the ground, and it hurt a little bit, and her system said, or maybe it hurt a lot, and her system said, whoa, I didn't anticipate getting physically, feeling physical pain during this game. Maybe this is a physically dangerous game, a very painful game. I don't know, now I'm feeling nervous and scared, a little apprehensive to keep playing, but I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna keep playing. All my friends say that they like it. So then she gets up and she keeps playing, and it happens again, a second time. Her brother plows her over and knocks her down, and she feels physical pain again. And maybe it's even more that time, and her system says, no, it happened again. This is now a true statement. Freeze tag is dangerous for my health. Freeze tag is very painful and scary. And then she never plays freeze tag again. So if that trauma energy gets trapped inside her body is going to have that as its definition of freeze tag. Oh, that's very scary, very dangerous. I feel really scared I'm going to get hurt again. Which is not true, all around true about freeze tag, but that was her experience, and so that was what her system developed as its belief and as its view of reality. So say she avoids that, and then 20 years down the road or 10 years down the road, she experiences someone mentioning freeze tag and how much they love it, and she experiences all of those emotions come up again, or even she feels like they're about to ask her to play with them, and she feels all those emotions from 10 years ago come up again of like, oh, I'm so scared, ow, it hurts, I'm really scared I'm gonna get hurt again, this is not safe, it's not a safe game for me. So that would be called a trigger. When you, inside your own body, you're experiencing emotions and sensations that no one else is, and that's not called for in the situation. A friend saying, I really like freeze tag, wouldn't call for your heart racing, feeling really scared, having a really big response. So what to do about that? So when we experience a trigger within ourselves, a way, especially so if she's in a conversation with someone who's talking about it, and they may even be about to ask her, they do ask her if she wants to play, she could say, oh, you know what, I'm noticing that I'm experiencing a trigger. I'm gonna go off by myself for a little bit to work with that, to deal with that, to reparent it. So right now I feel drawn to go have some alone time. And she goes off by herself to work with it and say, okay, I acknowledge the sensations, the emotions, the beliefs involved, the fears involved. Oh yep, if I listen in, I can even hear the story of what the original event was. And then now I can step out of it and look at it from above, from an objective observation standpoint, to notice why this is here and what it needs, and then ask, okay, system, what do you need in order to heal this, to release this, and are there new beliefs and new perspectives ready to be added? So often in a moment of trauma, when we got traumatized, our system just did the best it could to come up with a belief, and it's usually not the whole truth. It's not fully true. And so later on in life, we've had more experience, especially as an adult compared to a child. We have more faculties and more wisdom that we can call on, and we can even buy books on topics and read about them to gain even more knowledge when needed. So she can zoom out and say, oh, okay, yeah, my brother had, now as an adult and having had more life experiences with my brother, I've noticed that he just gets physically, extra physically engaged in things. So, okay, I see this from a different perspective now. I was only 5 years old. I wasn't aware, of a lot of things that he would get very physically engaged in things more than the average person, and that I've heard more about freeze tag since then. And so I zoom out, I notice I do, even though this trauma energy feels like freeze tag is dangerous, I know it's not. Like I've gained more information about it since then, and I have a greater more awarenesses of it, that my brother happened to get really physically involved, or physically unaware. I've learned more about freeze tag, and that's not actually a contact sport. And that it's very rare for people to experience experiences where it hurts. And so that was just a rare situation. It's not actually the full truth. But I can also understand how a 5-year-old would feel really scared and like uncertain, and I can send empathy to my inner 5-year-old. Okay, is there anything else I need to see or do to take care of this? No. Okay, I can breathe it out. I can do EFT tapping to release it out. I can do the scribbling exercise to release out that trapped like physical pain energy, physical shock energy and everything. And then I can even bring in, right side, I can even bring in the beliefs of freeze tag is not a contact sport. It's like a gentle sport, a gentle game, and it's possible for me to engage in it safely. I can just be mindful of, or notice if there's anyone who gets and if someone does get physically too aggressive, I have options. I can speak up and say, hey, it seems like you're getting a little too aggressive. Let's play a little bit softer. Or we're playing only touch, just shoulder touch, that's all. You can't touch or push anyone. So then after we resolve, clear out the trauma energy, see the bigger perspective, then we can bring in actions of like, okay, I could actually engage with that. The new belief that freeze tag is a safe game can be true for me. And if I'm concerned about what if something happened? What if something unusual happened that made it unsafe? I'm an adult and I have options. I have options of how I can respond. I can say, hey, let's do only shoulder touch, or, that was a little too hard. Please do it softer next time. Or if someone's being really aggressive and they won't stop, I can stop playing the game and say, that's all for me today. I'll see you guys next week. I have options. Okay, so Susie goes away, processes all of that, releases out the trauma energy, feels great, comes back and says like, I'm not triggered by freeze tag anymore. I can listen to people have this conversation, or they can even invite me to play, and I can play and have a great time. Trauma resolved. Woot, woot, woot. If she notices that she goes off by herself to process, to do some journaling, however her method is, and she notices, I'm stuck. Like I'm just believing the trauma. I'm just feeling it, and I got stuck in it, and I'm reliving it, and I can't get out of it. And I can't think of my options. I can't think of new beliefs. I'm just feeling the trauma energy. I'm feeling scared and all these things. Then she can reach out to a trusted friend and say, hey, I could use some help processing something. Would you be willing to hold space for me? Maybe you hop on like a 30-minute call, or if they're in person, do you have 20 minutes that you could help me process this? I'm feeling kind of stuck. I need help seeing the bigger picture, and finding new possibilities, or new options, seeing what my options are. Would you be willing to reflective listen to help me? Maybe if I hear it out loud, it'll help me connect. So that she has all kinds of options of how she could ask someone to hold space. That can be really useful. I'm just saying like, will you say back to me what I say? Okay, this is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling scared and da-da-da. And it was so rude that he knocked me over, and I can't trust anyone ever again in my whole life because he knocked me over. And I feel like everything is ruined for me in life. I won't ever be able to play any games and have fun because for some reason I'm a person where this happens repeatedly. It happened twice, where I think this is just going to keep happening forever and ever. And an outside person can say, okay, here's what I heard you say. And they can repeat it back, and hearing it come back in through our ears can help us see the bigger picture and start to step into the observation mode and understand. And also hear like, oh wow, that's not a true belief. When they hear someone else say it, I won't be able to ever play any games ever because I'm a person that always has the bad thing happen. They go, oh, okay, that doesn't sound true. That doesn't, I know that that's not true. And they can identify the beliefs. And then they can even ask for help of like, oh, I'm feeling kind of stuck as to like how to process this. Do you have suggestions? Yeah, do you know how to do EFT tapping? Or try and take some deep breaths, maybe visualize your 5-year-old and talk to them as if you were there, you know, on the field when it happened, and talk to them and explain these things to them, the things that they didn't see or understand at the time. Pretend like telling them that so that they do have it. An outside person could give suggestions. So then after they process it, and then they get to the point of like, okay, I choose to bring in the new belief that it's okay. And then if their system gets to the point of like, oh, wait a minute, how am I going to ensure that I'm safe moving forward with this new belief? What do I do? What if it happens again? What do I do? And then same thing of like, I'm having a hard time finding my options of what my options are of how to handle this, or what my new boundaries are. So an outside person, they could say, do you have any suggestions? And same thing, the outside person can offer suggestions. It's awesome.